What do you think when you look at the old-style phones as compared to the phones of today? Do you think a lot has changed in the 100 years since Bell invented the phone? Well, today phones are much smaller. They can connect to a lot more people. They can reach long distances. They even come in neon colors. But surprisingly, phones have not changed as much as you might imagine. 100 years ago, phones worked with sound waves and electrical signals. The sound waves created by your voice vibrated a mechanism which then converted the sound waves to electrical signals. These signals were sent across a wire and then converted back to sound. Well, guess what? This is still the way it works today. Vibrations are converted to electrical signals which are sent over the wires and reconverted back to sound. While the basic operation of the phone hasn't changed all that much, there have been many changes to the telephone infrastructure. Originally, phones only served as closed-circuit devices. Closed-circuit means you could only talk with one other person. One end of the telephone wire was in your house, and the other end was in another house. And get this, if you wanted to communicate to other people, you needed a separate wire from your house going to each different location. Closed-circuit phones started to get a little difficult and cumbersome. No, make that closed-circuit telephone started to get a lot difficult and cumbersome. So the idea of a switchboard was created. Instead of having many lines into each house, it was decided to connect every house to a single location. This location was called, and is still called today, the central office. Since all phone lines terminated in the central office, the phone company paid someone to sit there and make connections when people made a phone call. You'd pick up the phone and crank the handle just like you see in the old movies. When you crank the handle, it caused the bell to ring in the central office. The operator would come on, ask you who you needed to call, and then connect the call. Calls were connected by switching plugs on the switchboard. The switchboard could handle long-distance calls, too. If your call was going outside the local area, the operator connected you to the next operator in line to forward your call. Now, this could take a long time, maybe even an hour, before your call was connected, because each operator across the United States had to connect you to the next, and if the lines were busy, you had to wait even longer. Eventually, technology became more advanced. Manual switchboards were replaced by electronic switches, and the phones had dials added to them. Now, the switches set up connections automatically based on the number that you dialed. It's interesting to note, though, that even today there are some countries that still have manual switchboards. One of the side effects of having an operator switch your calls was that he or she could listen into the call and spread lots of gossip, which simply shows that improving network security has been an issue for a long, long time.